Hello, all right, so this is a video with just some basic tips and an overview of the multiple choice questions that you're going to see on the AP Lit exam, and then more to the point that you'll see in our practices that we're beginning. I have been very deliberately preparing us for the exam, but I don't always like to use the multiple choice because I think that organic and discussion-based creative analysis is the way to start and the way to live, really. But that as it may, the AP exam approaches, and I want you to feel pretty comfortable with the way that the questions are styled, the different types of questions. There are basically 8 types. And so we'll begin our daily or weekly, rather, practice for the exam. So bookmark the My Classroom or AP Classroom website. Make sure you know your username and password. This will be the platform that we use for all of the practices. AP has collected everything that they've got in terms of practice questions and then teacher submitted questions sometimes. So it's a really good repository for the style of questions that you're going to see. You're in other AP classes most likely or have been, and so you know that AP style questions are unique and they are vetted. There's a lot of validity to the style they use. So whenever possible, I like to use the questions from the AP graders themselves. This week, I'm assigning a full multiple choice practice test. No essays, just the practice test that's multiple choice. So it's 55 questions and it will be a 1-hour experience. I've set the timer. Now, when you get to the end of the time, it doesn't kick you off. It will tell you though, okay, your time is up. So it's a nice blend of allowing you to track your timing to see how quickly you're moving through the test, but also allowing you the time to finish if you need to. The one I've assigned is the 2017 International Practice. We can do one more before the exam. If you've taken this one, then let me know. I can reassign you a different one. But this was created by the AP people, so like I said, it's got a robust quality to it. I like to use theirs when I can. And then I'm going to continue to assign on Sundays quizzes, 10 to 12 questions that are from the AP Bank. I'll always include at least one optional quiz in addition to the one required quiz. So you get about 20, 25 practice questions a week. All right, so the exam. This is how it breaks down. The free response essays, the ones that we've really been spending more deliberate time with, that structure and that format, are the bulk of the exam. They're 55% of your final score. The multiple choice, though, 45%, is not nothing. So I want you to start feeling out how you're doing. And we'll use a calculator next week so you can see, all right, so I got 75% right. Where does that leave me? It's not a direct correspondence, and you might know this already from other AP classes. A 75% on the multiple choice is actually quite good. It's not perhaps in the world of a traditional grade, that puts you in at a C, but in AP speak, that would be at a 4 or 5 on the exam. So we'll go over some of those calculations. For this week, you just have to do your best. Consider it creative analysis where somebody has pre-selected answers for you, right? And sometimes it's not even creative. Sometimes it's more of a reading comprehension question or even a grammatical one. And to that end, let me show you some of the breakdown of how you can see the exam, how you can see the multiple choice questions. I like this site. I'm going to talk you through some of the things that it's suggesting. The prepscholar.com industry, that is just like Barron's, 5 Ways to a 5, all of those companies. But this is their game, and they have some good tips. Basically, there are 8 types of questions on the AP Lit exam, and there they are, right there in front of you. There are a lot of the first and second kind of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and couple in number 6, overall passage questions, as being very similar to number 1, reading comprehension questions. And so between them, the reading comprehension questions, the inference questions, and the overall passage questions, a lot of the questions are simply wondering, do you know what just happened in that passage? Can you read what is going on between the lines? And so what it's rewarding is careful reading, which is ironic because it also has to be really fast. You have to get through these pretty quickly at a rate of about a minute a question. So as you take this this practice exam, you're going to start to feel what that's like. Reading a passage with depth, intensity, and speed so that you can be able to answer what those reading comprehension questions are asking of you, or the inference questions, or the overall passage questions. The other questions are the more specific lit term questions. So identifying, interpreting figurative language, character analysis questions, literary technique questions, and then lastly, the structure and the grammar questions, which are kind of not that common. They happen, but they're not the bulk of the questions. And that's where the specific practice that we do in this class should be more helpful to you, as opposed to just generally how you've been approaching literature your whole life, with an eye to trying to understand what it means to you and what it might mean in general to everybody. So to see what this is like in a more specific way, you can certainly click on the link here, which will be in the lecture slides. And they've got, oh, here, I already have it pulled up, not only a little bit about, well, what is reading comprehension? Let me make sure I understand what they're talking about, but a little sample question. I've seen this exact same article in one of those books you can buy, the 5 Ways to a 5 or 5 Steps to a 5. And so it does this, these suggestions in this site, they do have, I think, some good validity. All right, that is your first creative analysis lesson on just these multiple choice questions, and we'll get into them week by week, but hopefully that's a good overview for you.